Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's continuing education. Today is going to be a great day in the Pacific Northwest, and the sun is shining and better weather than a lot of people in the Midwest or in the East Coast. And because of the weather, inspired me on today's topic. We are going to talk about allergies. Yay! Who has allergies, or who has those seasonal times when you like, oh my gosh, okay, here it comes, right? So the other day, I'm actually went out to my car. It's a beautiful day, and I look at my car, and it's like, what's all over my car? Oh, 'tis the season. 'Tis the season. It isn't winter time, it's spring. Spring has sprung very well. And so let me pick up my dog. Okay, all right, sorry about that. So he wants to join in. This is Wiley. If you guys have never met him, and if you're not on my Facebook, if you're on my Facebook, you know all about him. And so with the season of spring, and everything wants to blossom and bloom and flourish. Grasses, trees, flowers, I mean, everything. And so do you all of a sudden have that, oh my gosh, I'm sneezing everywhere, I'm congested, you get the goopies in the eyes, or maybe you're one of those that really gets miserable during this time and you've got to wear a mask everywhere you go. Well, that's no fun either. So today we're going to talk about some simple solutions. I love that. So my name is Diana Hinkle, for those of you who have not met me, and those of you that are going to listen to the replay, or maybe somebody is going to has shared this with you. I'm all about natural health that is simple, safe, and affordable all in one. And not only are they safe for us, they're also something that can be used on our animals as well. And I'm very passionate about that. I actually created a new website that's naturalsforanimals.com. So if you're interested in learning more about other modalities and not just essential oils, it's naturals with an S and the number 4 and animals. So naturals for animals. So today let's look at what is an easy way to help you tackle this season of the pollen in the air. Or maybe it's something else, right? I'm all about using essential oils. I use doTERRA essential oils for one specific reason. I know that it is safe. I know that it's actually true to what it says on the bottle, because not all essential oils are created equal. Please always make sure you know where your oils are coming from, because a good majority of essential oils that are on the market today are adulterated, or they have toxins. They have put something in them that can be toxic not only to you, but toxic to your animals. So be very careful with that. And it's the same with fragrances that you use in your home. If you have animals, be very well aware of what you're using, because they're not as safe as we think. In fact, I just saw something the other day about the plug-in fragrances that you use in your home that are highly toxic and cause problems down the road. So please be very wary of that. And so doTERRA, I know, is certified pure therapeutic grade, so CPTG. That means they meet a quality of standard every single time. I don't have to worry that they've put something else in the bottle to make it go farther, or put a different essential oil in the bottle and call it something else. But the label says 100% pure. Please know that that 100% pure does not mean and does not guarantee that you're getting a essential oil that is not synthetic, or that a bottle of oil, essential oil that has not been adulterated. So please be aware of that. So today let's talk about 3 essential oils that will help you through this period of time, seasonal threat. And there's 3. One of them is lemon. The other one is peppermint. This is peppermint. And the other one is lavender. Okay? Now, all 3 of these you can use internally. You can also use them topically, and you can use them aromatically. They all get to the system, whether it's aromatic or topical. And then internally, be very mindful of when you use essential oils internally. Always make sure that the bottle says that you can use it internally. There's a reason for that. With doTERRA, it's really simple. And there will be a supplement fact on the bottle. I don't know if you can see that, but I will read it to you. It's a supplement fact, tells you everything about amount per serving, where it comes from, which in this case, lemon comes from the peel. Any citrus does. But it says, for internal use, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. 1 drop goes a long way, okay? So like, for instance, peppermint, and we'll get some more of that, can equate to 28 cups of tea, which is, in my book, it's like wow, that's crazy, right? You can, and using them all 3 ways, whether aromatically, just take a lid off the bottle and smell it, put it in a diffuser, or can also get into the bloodstream or get through the blood-brain barrier. And then putting it on topically also gives you, it also gets into the bloodstream. So those are the 3 ways. Digestive, internally, you go through the digestive system for it to get to where it needs to go. So actually, aromatically and topically, you can have a response within 30 seconds. Isn't that crazy? But that's true. So they help in repair cells as well. So let's look at these 3 specific oils. So let's look at lavender. Lavender, and let me pick this up again. So lavender is all calming, but lavender in itself is used for many different things. So it's calming. So we have little books, we have tips, okay? So this is a book that I like to use. It's called the Essential Life Book. There's also one called the, I don't have it here, but there's another one called, there's many different books, and you can get anything online, okay? We have so much information. The technology we have today at our fingertips is amazing. But please, again, whenever you go to something online, make sure that it is a source that is reputable, because you want to make sure that you're using your essential oils properly. That's why doTERRA chose an educational model, so that you understand how to use essential oils and make sure that you stay safe. So lavender is the oil of communication on an emotional level. So if you're going to go talk to someone or going to go present to something, use lavender, okay? Because we're going to talk about each oil. When you combine those three help you with seasonal ruts. But if you're one of those that actually knows that you're going to have, or you do have those problems when it's that time of year, what you should be doing is boosting your immune system the whole time prior to that, because you want to get on top of what the problem will be before it actually happens. So that's being proactive, right? So if we're proactive and we have what we need to help boost our entire lymphatic systems, I should say, then we're going to not be as bad as we normally are. So lavender is one of the oils that's very calming, and it is great for burns, it's great for sunburns, it's great for colic. You know, if you got that baby that just can't sleep, lavender is a really good option. It's good. It could be good for high blood pressure. It can be good for emotional balance. It can be good for migraines. It can be good for so many things. Its #1 compound in there is linalool, which is another one that's really helpful for our blood sugars too, which is good for that. So when you start using these essential oils, they're good. One oil is good for many different things. So if you can use an oil for several different issues, isn't that really cost effective instead of going to some place like over-the-counter stuff, or whatever, allergy medication, or tummy upset, Pepto-Bismol, whatever it is that you're getting off the shelf? Isn't it cost effective to have an essential oil that can help with a lot of those issues all at once? So instead of grabbing one specific or paying for that specific thing, have an essential oil that can actually help for many different things. So that helps us be cost effective. So the next one is lemon. And lemon I love. Oh my gosh. So if you want to know about green cleaning, lemon is actually one of those that will help you in cleaning your home. But it's also the oil of focus, which is interesting. In fact, I recently had someone come up with this on a scan. I love to do bio scans. And if you're one of those that gets confused all the time, lemon is a really good one. How many people go out to eat and they offer you lemon for your water? Why do they do that? Well, first off, lemon isn't just to flavor your water. There's a reason why we have it, and it's to help the digestive system so that hopefully you don't have as many problems when you go out that door from eating, like a lot of people do, and that's how they ended up preparing and giving you lemon because of that. The lemon is another one of those that you can ingest, and you can simply take the lid off just like and smell it, and you can actually put lemon in a spray bottle and use it to clean your countertops. Now, of course, water and oil don't mix, so you have to shake it every time, right? But lemon, what are the top uses? Lemon has a D-limonene in it. That's a specific compound. And then its top uses, you can use it for kidney and gallstones. How many do you know that have those problems? Nowadays, it seems like there's more and more. It can use it for if you are retaining water. Lemon is really good to put in your water to drink throughout the day. But you only want to do like a couple of drops, 1 or 2 drops. I know some people are like, oh, I put 4 or 5 drops. Well, how much water? Like if you have a container that's 16 ounces, like some containers are really big, some containers are really small. You have to think about how many cups are in that container as to how much essential oil you're going to put in there. Okay, don't overdo it because you don't want to. You're not going to have adverse reactions to it. But the one thing that you want to keep in mind, lemon is one of those that's photosensitive, meaning that anytime that you're using a citrus in your water, or taking it internally, or exposing it on the skin, or the skin that you rub it on, if you expose it to the sun, you have a higher chance of getting sunburned because it will actually attract the sun. So kind of limit the amount of sun that your skin is exposed to if you're using a lot of lemon in your water, okay? Now, if you want to help counteract that, omegas are really good for that. And doTERRA has some awesome omegas. So this is part of lemon. It's also good to help with the mucus. So you can add a drop of lemon in a teaspoon of honey if you have problems with the mucus by itself. And a lot of us do. You can also apply lemon here on your sinuses if you want. And you can do that with peppermint too, but if you do it with peppermint, peppermint has some really strong fumes. So your eyes are really going to weep if you do that, but don't put a whole lot there. If you ever do, what it will do is will help draw out toxins within the sinuses and around the eyes. That's another reason why your eyes will weep, because of the fumes. It will go away, it will dissipate, usually 10 to 20 minutes depending on how much you used, right? It will not make you go blind, but it will make you tear up. And if you tear up, it actually intensifies. Water is a driver for essential oils. So if you think you're going to wash it off, you can wash it off, but it's still soaked into your skin within 30 seconds. So it's already done. You're just washing off the residue on your fingers, on your hands, or whatever, wherever else that you've actually applied. It's good for, you know, the acid reflux that we have. It's also good for, it's phenomenal, lemon and lemongrass is phenomenal for gout. Just apply it to the bottom of the feet. So lemon is that detoxifier for our liver and our gallbladder. That's why it's really good for like kidney or gallbladder stones. It's also a great furniture polish. You could add this with a fractionated coconut oil, which is a clear liquid, and it soaks into wood, or you can get, or any good wood oil or some type of oil that will soak into the wood. If you decide that you want to use just water, you can use water, but water does not soak into wood, and it'll just sit on the surface, so you want to be careful about that. But you can use it as a polish. Now, the other thing about lemon, don't use it by itself. And the reason why I say that is because it will take off the polish, or the, if you've got nice, pretty shellac on your furniture, this will take it off if you use it by itself. So I don't ever suggest using it by itself. It has to be diluted in some way. It's also, lemon is also one of those that can be good for varicose veins. So if you have those, now there you can apply it neat, meaning by itself, to the varicose veins. Like I have one that I recently thought, well, you know, I need to start seeing if it really helps. What will it do in changing? Because studies say that it will do this, but I have one, so I might as well try it, right? So we'll get the before and after pictures. I tell you, sometimes it amazes me what these oils can do. Totally. And it's like, I'm still, even after all these years, it's like, really? It's really sometimes very hard to believe that it actually is helping with certain things. It's like, wow, it's amazing. So lemon, instead of using imitation lemon when you're cooking, use lemon. And sometimes it only takes the dip of the toothpick, yes, I said the dip of a toothpick, to flavor something when you're cooking. So instead of using an alcohol-based lemon, that's the imitation that you get at the store, it's only lemon that's been put in alcohol for the majority, and then you get a flavor of lemon. And there's a lot of essential oils that are made that way too. They're not true essential. There's specific ways of getting essential oils, and that is not an essential oil. That's just flavor, okay? If you're going to, if you have a runny nose, you can use lemon. You can inhale it, or you can apply it over the bridge of the nose, okay? You can, that is what helps relieve it. Now, because these are oils that can be consumed, then we can put any of these or all these oils, essential oils, in liquid like water and drink it that way too. But you only want to do 2 to 4 drops, okay? Anybody ever have gum in kids' hair? Have you ever had that experience? Lemon is really good to get the gum out of your hair, out of the kids' hair. And you don't have to chop it off. I know that's, yeah. And it's also good for getting that gum out of the carpet also. It has those properties. And now let's look at peppermint. So peppermint, oh my gosh, what all things can peppermint do for you? Now here's another one that you can add it to the lemon and the lavender, and you can apply it over the sinuses, over the bridge of the nose. But there again, don't apply the peppermint last. Apply the peppermint first so that you layer and put your lemon and your lavender over the top of it. And the reason why is because we just talked about the fumes of peppermint. This will kind of diminish the fumes so they're not quite as bad to the eyes. But it really, really works. Now, another thing that you can do is you can always do a neti pot, and you can put the oils in a neti pot, or you can make your own saline solution, which is just water and salt, okay? And you can get that, you can get recipes online. You don't have to go buy it, but if you've got a little empty spray bottle somewhere that's for the nose, most of us end up buying something like that. So, you know, empty that out. Put your water in there, your saline, make your saline and put some in there, and then put your lemon, lavender, and peppermint in there. Now, if it's just that little tiny, like an Afrin bottle, you know, real tiny, you only want to put a couple drops of each. You don't want a whole lot. And then spray that up your nose. You'd be surprised at how quickly that can help in getting the drainage in the sinuses if they're all clogged up. There are other things too. There are bigger neti pots out there that you can use the same thing in. And you can try other things too, like frankincense, for instance. And, you know, there's a breeze, which is really interesting, but I stick to peppermint, lemon, and lavender. Unless you really are the seasoned essential oil advocate, then you'll know what you want to do. But right now we're going to talk about lemon, lavender, and peppermint, because those three oils are our basic oils. They can do so much. It's incredible. And when you start one, and then you have one, then you add two, you put two together, then you put three together, and you can put different combinations together: peppermint and lemon, lemon and lavender, lavender and peppermint, lavender and lemon. I mean, it just, you create many different things. So with peppermint, is a great anti-inflammatory, right? And so there again, it's helpful for that inflammation that we've got going on, because allergies, or that whenever we have inflamed sinuses or the nasal cavity, those are all inflammations. So we're going to reduce the inflammation. So when you look at peppermint, its #1 constituent is menthol. I actually had someone ask me one time about that, and it's like, do we have a menthol? And I'm like, well, menthol is a compound within an essential oil. So if you get menthol, that's specifically just menthol, that's something that's either been produced synthetically, because it's a derivative of, it's a compound out of an essential oil. So kind of think about that. So menthol, we know, is warming or cooling, whichever way we need. So peppermint's really good in that way. So obviously, if we've got a fever, it's something that can help reduce the body's temperature. But it's also something that when we're super cold, it's something that can help bring our temperature up so that we don't feel as cold. Now, you can either apply it to the back of your neck, or you can put it on the bottom of your feet. So most of us, if you're like me, it's my feet that get cold first. And when your feet get cold, the rest of you is cold. So you can you apply it to your feet, then you have that warming sensation to your feet. And then the rest of your body can stay warmer. But like during the summer months, if you're super hot, then apply it to the back of your neck, and then use one of those, use a wet towel or anything that's wet. There's a lot of cloths out there now that you can get wet to help keep you cool. That's just an added bonus to help keep the body cool when you're out doing things and it's super hot. So the last thing you want to do is get heat stroke, right? So if we inhale it, we can help with upset stomach by just smelling it. We can apply it topically to our tummy, and that will help. But there again, be careful about what oils you apply topically. Make sure that you don't have a sensitivity to the skin. And that means it'll show up as kind of like a burning sensation, really warm. It's not necessarily, because peppermint itself is a warming agent with the menthol. If you start seeing like a bright redness, then that's a sensitivity, and you want to make sure that you apply like a coconut oil, a fractionated coconut oil, or any kind of carrier oil, whether that's vegetable oil, olive oil, grapeseed oil, almond oil, anything that you have. Spread that around on the same areas so that it doesn't feel so bad to you. Because there's a difference between being allergic to something or having an allergy reaction to something versus a sensitivity. So there is a difference. Because an allergy is where you're really going to break out in like hives, or your throat's going to feel like it's closing up. That's an allergy. That's a full allergy attack. Okay, that is so avoid that next time. But the sensitivity is different. Now, peppermint, if you are pregnant, typically you're okay to use peppermint during pregnancy, but use it sparingly. And you have to decide whether or not you want to use it, because you should be a little bit limited, because of it. They will say that that you should stray away from peppermint during pregnancy. But peppermint in itself, if you are nursing a child, don't use peppermint, because peppermint will decrease the milk supply. Now, if you're at that point where you want to dry yourself up, peppermint's wonderful for that, because it'll help dry you up. Of course, it's great for bad breath, and we have like peppermint beadlets that are really good for that. So you can actually take a drop of peppermint, swish it around your mouth, and you're good to go, right? If you have loss of smell, that is something else you can use. You can just aromatically just smell it. It's another one that's good for sunburns. Now wait, did I just say sunburns? Yes, because you would think peppermint, being with that menthol, that you wouldn't want to apply it to a sunburn, right? But actually, it's very cooling. So we just talked about the cooling properties, one or both, because everyone's familiar with icy hot or preparation H, things like that. So that's very cooling to the skin. But there again, use something that will soothe not just the peppermint, but what are you going to use with it? Don't use the water, and maybe not use just the peppermint itself, but use that carrier oil too. Let's see, what else is it good for besides it's helpful to reduce cravings, like if we're trying to diet or trying not to eat so much. It's good for muscle support. And what else? It's good for headaches. Apply it here to the temples, back of the neck, and then if you want, you can put it right behind your ears too. Okay? It's amazing what this specific oil can do for you. And then peppermint in itself, when you look at on the emotional side, peppermint is the oil of a buoyant heart. So it's helping you be very clear and relieved, renewed. So if you're ever falling asleep, peppermint's really good to wake you up. It's energizing. So now when you put all three of these together, you can either, like I said, apply them topically over the bridge of the nose or on the sinuses themselves right here. And I would, if you're going to do it here, 1 drop of each is adequate. Okay. You can also put them on the back of your neck, and you can also put it on the bottom of your feet. You can put it in water and chase it that way and down it that way. Or you can put it in an empty capsule, 1 or 2 drops of each, and swallow it that way. But this is Try Ease. So what doTERRA did for us is they made it super simple, so we don't have to mess with all of that. These are little soft gels, and they have lemon, lavender, and peppermint in each one, so that we, in a convenient capsule, can take these. Again, I'm going to say that if you know that you're going to have seasonal threats, put what you need in your body, so when the time comes, your body isn't trying to catch up. Because what happens with most of us, we wait till we're sick, right, before we ever do anything. And then we're trying to get ahead of something, so you've got to use it often. So when you're using essential oils, less, more often is better than a lot less often. So when you hear that someone said, oh, the essential oil didn't work for me, it's usually because they didn't use it enough, and they didn't use it enough throughout the day. Because essential oils will dissipate in your body within 3 to 4 hours. So if you want it to help in battling whatever's going on, you've got to be able to do that. You've got to keep it up into the system. That's important. And I have Amanda on with us today, and I'm going to have her share what she's doing for her protocol right now, because she's added a few other oils that I didn't even think about. So Amanda, do you want to unmute yourself, and then you can tell us your story?
Well, I'm unmuted. So I suffer with allergies for all my life, and so lemon, lavender, peppermint are my godsend. Currently, I'm not feeling well right now, so in my diffuser, I won't switch over. Hey, go back. I have the flu bomb currently in my diffuser because I just have not been feeling well at all. And I'm aware that the bug is going around, and on top of having allergies, it's not fun. So I've been using the lemon, lavender, and peppermint topically. I like putting peppermint on my sinuses because I will start sneezing like crazy and all that yucky crap just starts coming out. So I really enjoy putting the peppermint on me, and when I start sneezing anyways, I get hot, so the peppermint just cools me off as I'm sneezing and clears me up. But I have been using the Try Ease. I've been taking it also on top of with Serenity and Copaiba, because with the sneezing, you get the tightness in the chest. So the Serenity and the Copaiba just really, it really puts a damper on like my anxiety that I get when I start sneezing. So those 3 supplements right there are my go-tos. That's just pretty much what I've been using, but I've also tried using the Serenity oil instead of lavender when I do the oil compounds together, and that I rub on the bottoms of my feet with the peppermint and lemon, and it's also really soothing, but I noticed that it really does help as well. So
That's awesome, because Serenity is a blend with lavender in it. So, but you have other essential oils that actually are beneficial for other things. So I get that, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And Copaiba is oh gosh, unlimited supply of things that Copaiba can do for us.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
And I'm really bad. I have anxiety like crazy. So my go-tos for my anxiety is Serenity and Copaiba, just taking those 2 together, and it just chillaxes me.
Yeah, that's totally awesome.
But I did want to, I wanted to add something on what you were saying about the lemon and like when you go to a restaurant. So being from somebody that worked in a restaurant, I came across an ad that a thing online that I had read, and they were talking about health departments going in and taking samples of lemons from the restaurant. And a good amount of those lemons had tested positive for fecal bacteria in the water and on the lemon. I am just recommending, being working in health food, take that lemon oil wherever you go. Do not, yeah, I highly recommend. Don't be taking those lemons from restaurants anymore.
Wow, that, I never thought about the fecal matter, but lemons are never pre-washed.
Yes.
They just take them and cut them up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that you bring that up, because while I was gone last week for leadership in San Diego, my husband Gene sent me a picture of a product that the news station was featuring about how many products out there that we get are contaminated. They're dirty. And I don't mean dirty by dirt. I mean dirty by chemical. And it's like strawberries, because it's the way that they, not only as they're picked, but it's the way they wash them, and the product that they put on there to keep them from getting overripe by the time they get to the store. Mm-hmm. People, we're not aware of that when a fruit or produce is picked, it's got to get to the supermarket so that we can still use it. And stuff on there.
And to think about, when you go to the grocery store and you're picking that produce and you're picking up an apple to look at it, and oh, this one I don't want, it has spots on it or it has a bruise, and you put it back, and then someone behind you comes and grabs that same apple. How much of our produce is being touched on a daily basis?
Yes, exactly. So the next time oh, this one's not right, oh, this one's better, think about everybody else has done the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And then to add to that, something really good to look up if nobody is aware of it is go online and look up the Dirty Dozen, and it talks about the top 10 foods every year are produce that are saturated with chemicals and how they're growing it. It's called the Dirty Dozen.
The Dirty Dozen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to add that in here. The dirty, is it all one word?
It might be separated, but if you go dirtydozen.com, you might be able to find it. I hope it doesn't pull up anything dirty, but.
Well, it would be, wouldn't it? Okay, I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Dirty Dozen. Now, and this is the screenshot that my husband sent me from the TV, from the news station. A list of dirty and clean produce. So the dirty ones are strawberries, spinach, kale, cherries, and nectarines. What's clean are avocados, sweet corn, and pineapple. Now, I'm sure there's a whole list of other products out there that we really should look at, but when you look at like lettuce, for instance, when we just wash our lettuce, we're not getting to the inside of that head of lettuce if you're using that type of lettuce, or even, it doesn't matter which, it's what's in the middle that you're missing or you're not getting clean, right? I think that's another reason why we get so many problems with E. coli when it comes to lettuce in particular, because of that. So take that base off of your lettuce, break it open and wash it as much as you can. But lemon is a really good option for reducing the amount of problems we have in those ways. So wash your fruit with a lemon water base. So let it soak. Take your fruit, take your whatever, soak it in a lemon and water base, and you'd be surprised what your water will look like when it's all done, said and done. It actually looks dirty. Yeah.
Well, and I had, can't you even use the actual On Guard cleaner as a vegetable wash? I believe I read an article that somebody was doing that, just a small amount of the On Guard cleaner.
You could, because there's nothing in that that's toxic.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, if you're going to do that, make sure that you're only using a tiny bit because it's very highly concentrated. And then make sure that you're washing or spraying it off with just water.
Yeah.
Very, very good afterwards. Yes. Because if you ever use that product for cleaning your floors and stuff, you have to use it by itself, or even if you're not diluting it enough with water, your floors are sticky. So keep that in mind. Okay, but there's nothing harmful. So you can use it for washing your dishes. You can use it in your dishwasher, but you just have to be mindful. It has to be rinsed off very well.
Mm-hmm.
So, tip. But I have not myself heard that. I would rather just use the lemon.
Yeah.
Because, lemon is good, but any citrus is really good for cleaning your countertops. If you're a lime person, then use lime, but there's many different, or bergamot, or, the list goes on, but essential oil or water and your essential oils that are citrus are really good for cleaning. And so I know a lot of people like lemon in their water. I'm a lime girl. I use lime instead of lemon, and it does the same thing. It's very cleansing, and it's a detoxifier, anything citrus, grapefruit even. So if you're trying to lose weight, use grapefruit. If you got a lot of water retention, use grapefruit. If you happen to get a lot of gallstones, use grapefruit. Really good for that. Very, very helpful. Yeah, well, thank you for your tips, because that's very enlightening, especially on the lemon wedges. So I'm thinking, how many of those are going to listen to this and go, I'm not ever going to get a lemon wedge again? Oh. Yeah, and so we wonder why, when we eat out so much, that we wonder why we get sick. Well, that could be part of the package, right? Besides the fact that it's not good for us. Moderation in everything, right? All righty. So there you go. We've got lemon, lavender, and peppermint. We have so many qualities and things you can do with just those 3 essential oils in themselves. doTERRA made it easy that you can use the Tri-Ease. So it's super easy to get be a wholesale customer, because we want to pay it forward to everything, to our budget. And keep in mind that a wholesale customer is simply that. No different than being a host or a membership with Costco or Sam's Club, or nowadays you can be a Prime member for X amount of dollars, right? And so this is the same thing. doTERRA gives us an account, and it's wholesale pricing, so we get you get the same price as me, but you do not have to do this as a business. You buy this product when you want it, when you need it, and that's it. There's no minimum, no obligation one way or the other. And so I love that with them, because we get to learn to change our lifestyle, because that's truly what this is all about. And if someone has shared this with you, ask them about being a wholesale customer so that you can get the same 25% discount like we do, like all of us do. And then there's a reward program called the Loyalty Rewards Program. And that is super nice, because if you're learning a lifestyle change, you're going to want to incorporate products, whether it's supplementation, whether it's the oils, and we've got everything from skincare to the oils. We've got shampoos, soaps, skincare. There's several different lines of skincare. We've got everything that you would need on a daily basis. So that's Loyalty Rewards Program. Is really good to help pay your budget forward, because you get points. You get to earn points. It's like having a little savings account inside your account, and then you get to spend that on product later. So right now I've got like $400, over $400 worth of points sitting in my account. I'm like, that's a first. That typically does not happen. So I'm trying to save them for something special, because I've got some things coming up that I want to be able to get product for. different, like a contest that I got coming up. So again, if someone shared this video with you, please find out about a wholesale customer, and you can save money just like we are and pay your budget forward by participating as an optional participation in the loyalty rewards program. So thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for those that have listened to the replay, and we will see you again next week, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or is it daylight time now? I get so confused on that I'm like, I just wish it would just stay, the same. I'm one of those. I don't like change, and my body doesn't like it either. So you guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday. Bye, everybody. Bye, Amanda. Thank you so much.